Oh, they do work.
So if people can hear people still, all right? We're talking loud enough and it doesn't really matter about the microphones, I'm guessing. Oh, streamers? What? Oh, hi, I'm so sorry,
Hello,
streamers.
streamers.
People watching this later.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, would we like to do questions? Anyone got questions?
Questions about making custom ponies or anything related to custom ponies?
All right, first hand that went up.
If you're a person who actually doesn't have that much skill regarding clay and so on, and you just wanted to do an MLP, is there a way a person can actually just grab like basically just a blank body of the pony and paint on the code pony or whatever?
Well, to get, like, we did a bunch of these. We took out their hair and wiped off their eyes and cutie marks for the custom panel. Basically, to get their hair out, you have to, Basically, to get their hair out, you have to rip off their heads, which basically means you need to dunk them in boiling water or, like, use a low setting on a hairdryer. Don't use a high setting because that melts things.
Yeah. Or warp it. Yeah.
Or warp it, yeah. And then you, when it's nice and soft and warm, you sort of pull it off the neck plug, and you can scrape out the hair on the inside. Another method that I use that is kind of, it's a bit less work, is I just cut the hair as close to the head as I possibly can, and then I get some of the milliput, the clay that we use
Might need to explain milliput.
make the hair. I will explain it. Basically, put some of the clay down over the last little bits of the hair. So then when that hardens, you've got a nice sort of solid base to sculpt off. As far as getting the eyes and cutie mark off, that's really easy. You can use nail polish remover, but it will smudge around. If you're going to paint over it later, that doesn't really matter that much. But if you get pure acetone, which you can get from like hardware stores and places like that, you can just quickly wipe off the eyes and cutie mark.
Wouldn't acetone like burn up your hands?
No, it evaporates. That's why.
It evaporates very quickly and it's soluble in water. So you just quick wipes with like some cotton balls or something, and then just wipe it with water. Wash your hands.
Yeah, don't drink it.
Yeah, I would advise against drinking or like breathing in the fumes. That's very
Or
bad.
smoking.
Don't do that.
Smoking around it or bonfire, not a good idea.
Basically, very flammable.
But the thing is that like I don't think you need to have like a skill set going into customizing. You just because like I find that ponies are very different to customizing dolls, even though like I do have a kind of passion for both. Like because my first couple of customs they were really awful because I didn't know how to actually approach it. So I think it's just mostly a matter of like practicing and keeping at it and like trying to find new ways of approaching it.
If you do want to practice, like a really good cheap way to practice is you can go to like $2 shops and get like some, you know, the fakies or like the knockoff ponies and practice on them. Usually they're a little bit bigger and they're cheap, so you can have a practice on them.
It doesn't matter if they die. Horrible deaths. But for starting out, even if you don't really have much confidence or you've got no skill with clay or anything, the only way you're really going to learn and get more practice is picking it up, trying it out. Doing like these kind of custom ponies as opposed to starting like from scratch, probably a bit easier because all you're doing is like learning how to mold like the manes and tails, which depending on the pony, like don't start with a rarity. Rarity is not a good pony to start with. Like that is horribly complicated, and you probably need like wires. Probably the best option for actually getting that to stay without breaking apart and things.
And like even like Rainbow Dash, like even though she has a simple hairstyle, she has a very complicated like color scheme without like trying to mix the colors and stuff.
So if people are wanting to start a pony, what would you suggest as like a starter pony to try?
I would say like Fluttershy because she has like one color hair and like it's very long, and so.
Does the long make it harder because it's like it's long? Does it like find it breaking or?
It doesn't have as much details like if Applejack she has like the spikes in her hair or like detailing, but with like Fluttershy she has like just like the kind of blobby kind of hair. And
do people actually know what people use to create like the little custom ponies other than the pony base? Would we like to know what that is? Because we mentioned milliput, but we didn't actually explain what that was. It's upside down.
I don't even know if we can actually buy that in Australia. I've never seen that until now.
You can buy it in a lot of hobby shops. It's a
like the train and car model stores. Yeah, like they're really good for like if you want to customize because they're really helpful with getting sprays or like paints or like sealer and stuff. And so yeah.
I have found, personally, with finding milliput, you may go into a lot of little hobby stores and say, do you have milliput? And they're like, no, we have something similar. And I'd be like, okay, that's kind of annoying. You can import them from like the UK over eBay and stuff. It takes like a month to get to you though, so it's a bit, it could be faster than waiting for them to order in the store, or it might not be. It's kind of all over the place. Well, explaining, the milliput comes in this size. Like, this is the size. It doesn't really come bigger, does it?
No.
It's like, this is it, because it's made for small models and stuff. And if you,
And fixing stuff.
yeah. So it is good to start with this size base. You don't want to start with a fashion style pony because you're going to be wasting a lot of this when you're first trying out, probably. And it's like, oh, now I've got to spend another $10 because it's at least, what, how much is...
The
Pardon?
cheapest I've seen is like $11.
Yeah,
for
for packet.
So yeah, it's not the cheapest hobby when this
Yeah.
stuff.
You do get a lot of mileage out of the packet because you mix the two sticks together. It makes a surprising amount if you are sort of conservative with it.
Yeah.
So this is what milliput looks like. We've got,
Two-part epoxy.
we've got yes. So why is it in two things? Can we just like use one stick and another stick?
No, because it creates a chemical reaction when you actually mix them together thoroughly. So like it hardens
Instructions.
with it hardens without shrinking or needing to be baked. So like unlike air dry clays, which when it air dries it actually shrinks and cracks. While if you oven bake it, like you do need to put it in the oven, and I wouldn't recommend putting a plastic pony inside it. So,
They
but
can
yeah,
get melty feet.
yeah,
You'll find if like you're looking at customs online, if you see a pony and it's got very flat feet, because if you actually look at the toys, they're actually slightly molded in. It's people have made their custom ponies with the oven dry clay, and they've put them in there, and so their feet have just kind of melted slightly.
Yeah.
So you can do it. It's just that it's not quite as good for the pony because flat foot ponies.
yeah.
Also, milliput, when it's dried, it's sort of, it hardens after I think about 6 hours. It's reasonably hard, but after 24 hours, it is just rock solid. It is
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want. You don't
Yeah.
want a soft
It
thing
is what
because
you want.
they'll
It's-
damage.
It's really durable and like, you know, if I knocked this around, the only thing I'd be worried about is the paint chipping.
Yeah.
Like maybe
tail.
small little things snapping off, but
It's
The risk of the wings snapping off?
The wings are part of the original
wings
pony.
are part of the original pony, so
Yeah.
they're fine.
yeah.
Like you can sort of mold on your own like little folded wings. That's not too
Or,
hard.
or you could
but
put like a wire armature underneath, like sticking into the body
that
and
sounds
stuff.
hard and
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, but it is an option though.
It's like when you're getting a bit more advanced in your customs,
Yeah.
wire tends to be something like. Have you got wire in your Nightmare Rarity there, or
Yeah, I got it in her tail and a bit of
do
like
you want
the
to hold it up
curls.
so people can actually
Okay.
see?
Like I got a bit of wire running through the tail to keep its shape, and a bit through like the strands of hair that I sculpted on,
So wire is helpful for
Yeah.
shaping,
and to actually like support the milliput underneath.
because what happens if you don't have the wire in there?
It's much more likely to break, and you can't get the right shape for it sometimes. Yeah.
Alright,
You'll just be sculpting it and then it'll just fall off under the weight.
so
Yeah.
I found that when I was doing like one of my little Celestias, no wires, impatient, putting too much clay on. Oh look, it's cracking. Oh, stop cracking. Smooth it up. Oh, it's falling apart again. So it's one of the aspects that you do need to be patient. And if you do want a big chunky thing or something that's like, if you're trying to do like Maniac for some reason off one of these with the giant tentacles, you'd want to do wires through that
Yeah.
because it's not going to stay put otherwise.
I definitely recommend looking at like sculpting tutorials and to see how other people approach sculpting as well, and like to get tips and stuff from them. So like yeah. So
Questions? We've got any other questions? I'm sure we're going to have at least. Yep, next hand.
I find that rerouting isn't hard. It's very tedious for me because like you have to plug in each individual hair, like not hair but each plug of hair. So, and since the ponies have like kind of a very hard vinyl, you need to have like a heating pad or something to keep it soft, which I find is a bit too finicky for me. So that's why I prefer sculpting over rerouting. And yeah.
There is a lot of people that do prefer rerouting. Sadly, we don't have anyone on this panel. We originally had a person who does do that, but she wasn't able to come to the con. So
Yeah.
you can find more information on that if that's a preferred way. You can tutorials and stuff.
Do you just use a needle and someone
Yep. There's several techniques, like including like a needle and thread, like to pull in the plugs of hair, and like you can make your own rerouting tools by like like cutting the eye of the needle, so you have like this kind of and putting it into a kind of handle, and plugging in the hair from the top. But like
I'd also say a difference between rerouting and shaping your own hair. You're not going to get the hair to look like the TV show without, I don't know, can you actually get enough hairspray in one of their mains to make it stay like the TV show?
no,
It's like,
Like-
so yeah, you've got that compared as well. It's like, are you happy to just have like silky manes like the toys? It's fine. But if you're wanting like Spitfire hair
Yeah.
or Nightmare Rarities hair to actually go like that, you're probably not going to get it there with hairspray because
yeah.
they're tiny and small and you just can't get that much hair to make it nice and thick and look good. I'm assuming. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Am I wrong?
I've tried for several ponies, so yeah.
Do you have any of those down your table?
I have a twist and like a derpy hooves with like rooted hair in. So,
Yeah, so if you want to see some examples of like the difference between like a rerouted one and the molded hair, Pickles has a couple of them downstairs, and you'll see that the hair isn't quite as thick. Like it still looks cute. It's the best you can do with like the hair that they've actually got on the toys.
Yeah.
So next question. Can't ask anything. I don't care how stupid it is, or like, oh, I don't know anything about this, and I'm just asking this because I have no idea,
Yeah.
or I'll just keep blathering.
Yeah.
Do you want me to keep blathering? You got a question? I got a question.
I'm actually quite a private person, so I really don't like to sell some stuff, like unless like I want to make a gift for someone. Yeah. So, like.
Would it be, or
Yeah.
do you know of any people who do customs who actually
Yeah.
are making
Yeah.
income or living income?
I don't think they're making like living off it, but they do make enough to get by each month from the thing. But a lot of the custom pony makers that are known nowadays, they either have stopped making them due to like real life issues or health problems and stuff. So, yeah.
A lot of the customs you see are more. I know I follow a few of them on DeviantArt because there's some amazing customs, especially like not just the molded ones, but the ones that are like the full figurines, the sculptures. A lot of the people I watch who do that do commission stuff, but they also they don't just do ponies. They're just really awesome sculptors, and it's like, I want to do that, but I got to actually remember to have time and do things instead of. And it's a lot of like armatures and practice and
Yeah.
tools and years because.
Didn't like Otaku Squirrel, who did the resin hair,
Yeah.
do a lot of those? Does he still do that? Or?
I haven't actually seen much updates from like a Taco Squirrel, apart from that kind of Kickstarter for the like Brony doc. Yeah.
And there are like a few people that do their own resin models that have like the sets of them. It's like, is it Krovitz or something? I think it is. He makes like comes out with sets of ponies that you just change the hair and put your own color OCs and stuff in. So that's another way of doing customs if you've got the tools and materials to actually do the customs.
So when you're doing mass-produced stuff, just be really careful because
Yeah.
that's when it like
Hasbro,
Yeah, like I know this one plushie maker that had like a cease and desist. Like,
cease and desist,
Yeah.
probably.
yeah, because she was making like $1,000 on each plushie she put on eBay, and yeah,
just be careful with
Yeah.
mass-produced stuff.
Yeah, don't make it a workshop. Like you have to say no. Like even just saying it's for private use isn't really good enough after you get to a point because like no, you're mass producing these. It looks like our product. Don't do that. It's like one-off customs like Pickles been doing. Yeah, you can probably get away with it a bit easier because it's not
Can they
constant.
say that if someone was to walk up to another person and say, I want a plushie made but I want it to look like mine?
If you're doing it in person, they're not tracking it. If you're doing it online constantly, you've got a shop that's got open and you're taking commissions and it's like they're My Little Pony OCs as opposed to just Pony OCs or OCs or whatever.
Or
they can
equines.
or equines. They can pull it down because My Little Pony is the brand name that Hasbro has trademarked.
like Hasbro has been very good with like fan-made content and like
Customizers
yeah,
and plushie makers and-
yeah, like yeah, because like they've actually kind of encouraged that with the G3 collectors and stuff. Even coming out with a G3 pony that was like completely made out of white plastic and white hair, so you could paint it yourself and like dye the hair and
Yeah,
everything.
the G3 ponies, a lot of them, they've had fancy artists that did special edition ones and that sort of thing.
Not considered doing that for Generation 4.
No, that'd be fantastic. I wish they would do that.
I think
It's it's a collector's market. Hasbro doesn't aim for collector's market. The only reason I think that you
Yeah.
probably have a better idea, G3 got collector's markets because they had G1 fans that are older, had kids, they had got the toy
Yeah.
fairs in
And
the
it came,
UK and stuff.
and
so-
also came in around the time of where like toys were the whole collecting thing, like in the early 2000s as well. Like there was a huge flurry of like after like when one person found that #1 issue of Superman comics, like everything is just like, oh, this is from my childhood. This must be worth tons of money. And now it's like nowadays you can't even like sell like G3 ponies for like $1 in packet.
'Cause people bought too many.
Yep.
It's like, don't really stock up on your My Little Pony figures, especially the common ones. Which
Yeah.
They're all common because Hasbro doesn't make OCs at the moment.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's me raging because I'm still kind of a collector. I'm trying to get rid of them somewhat because too many, and
And
I get tired of just the same main 6 over and over. Not
And
sure
think-
if anyone else collects toys here.
And I also think like they did focus a lot of the toy line on Equestria Girls last year or this year. Like
Gonna do more of it because people know about Rainbow Rocks. Yeah. I'm like the only one who's enthused about this movie. Yay, someone!
It's gonna be different, but I don't think it's gonna be like Spain Camp all over again.
I would have preferred a Gem reboot,
Yeah, I was
to be
about to
honest.
say.
But that's the branding they have to start.
Yeah.
Off with. So do we have custom? Yes. Oh, that's.
Hasbro is going to get better because I know last year they released, I think it was Sunset Shimmer
Yeah.
and Mrs. Kate, and I think those were the only new like brushables. Do you think they're going to get better, or is it just going to get worse?
I hope so.
I think
I hope it'll get better.
I think that they are trying a bit better, but they also focused what the brushable line would have been to the Equestria Girls. So like I'm hoping that since like this year it isn't like full on Equestria Girls stuff, and there has been a lot more like toys and figures being released now, like Vinyl Scratch's car with sunglasses for the windscreen and stuff.
An angry flipping Rainbow Dash.
Yes.
Oh,
the
but,
fat angry flipping.
but yeah, the Equestria Dolls line looks like it's going to be expanding a bit because like the
Yeah.
poster had DJ Pony. We've already seen Trixie coming out, so
Yeah.
they're probably going to focus on the Equestria Girls again more instead of the Hasbro OCs and main
But-
6 Rainbow
Yeah.
on ponies instead of new. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't think they're gonna. I think the focus has been going away from brushables, but they have been making more toys. Like, have you seen that pop stuff where you can
the
actually
pop
build?
vinyls and
No,
Oh,
the
no.
thing where you actually build like houses and stuff, and like it's like the Gundam
The
kits.
pieces are kind of similar to Gundam kits or like little,
Yeah.
like the Warhammer things that
Yeah,
you have to build.
or like model planes or something. You just pop out the things.
oh, they're going to
Yeah.
be they're releasing pony versions of those,
Yeah,
so you make your own
like-
ponies.
Yeah, you
There
see
go.
like Pinkie Pie
Easy
split in half.
customs.
Yeah,
Wait till they come out, maybe.
yeah,
There was
Yeah.
the prototype of like there was the Sugar Cube Corner House.
yeah. With like Pinkie Pie split in half with the hair like on another piece.
That's kind of creepy. Cupcakes, man.
Yeah.
Bad reference.
Yeah.
Question. Yes.
Yes. I was wondering, is some of the clay that you guys actually use for the hands or the
You need to just speak up a little.
yeah, the clay that you guys use for your ponies, can that actually be grabbed and used instead to make the Discord animals in the latest episode?
Haven't seen the latest episode. You mean like the last week's episode?
Thumb up in front of the face of Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Discord custom that I'm actually auctioning was completely made from Milliput. It's like it's just sculpted on armature and everything. So like it is completely made out. So you can make like different things out of the same kind of clay.
It is modeling clay, so yeah, you can make your model from base just with clay, with a wire frame or
Yeah.
a foil frame or. Random question again. Come on, someone's got a question. Smiling, not smiling. I'm going to point at you. What do you want to ask? No, you looked around. I'm asking you. Yes. I know you haven't asked anything. Just ask something. I'm going to do this now if someone doesn't ask a question next. Pardon?
I tried to style my rarity a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Kind of stuffed up.
All right, advice, because Pickles has done this for.
Yeah. So what's the what went wrong with your rarities hair?
The hair just falls apart, you know, it just won't hold.
Yeah. I definitely think you need styling product for that, or like a kind of like clear water-based glue for it to actually hold the hair in place. Yeah. Yeah. Like, did you boil it and stuff?
No, I didn't boil it.
Yeah. Nylon works very well if you actually boil it and hold its shape, because this rarity, like her hair was completely straight, but like when I boiled her hair, she actually got curls and stuff inside it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend to do with nylon.
For you, when you did your rarity, you also like put it around a pencil and then you tied it up and
Yeah.
you left it for a day or two.
Yeah, after I boiled it and stuff. Yeah.
Explain this process because these are people who haven't heard your custom talking before.
To actually like curl hair and stuff, like I actually wrap like straws or like a pipe cleaner to wrap it around the hair and hold it in place. Boil it, leave it to dry for like a day or two, and then when you take it out, it should maintain its shape, because like nylon's very good with holding its shape when you heat it up, and yeah.
How do you boil it? You just stick the whole pony in
Yeah.
boiling water?
Yeah, I just use a mug, like. Yeah, I have a special mug at home that's just like meant for like styling hair. For, like,
And one of the key points is that you do need to leave it for at least 24 hours. If you can leave it for 2 hours, not 2 hours, 2 days, it's best. So if you get your pony, go to bed. So that you don't feel like, oh, it's good, I can like undo it. So I'll just put it in I don't know, a cupboard or something that you won't see for a couple of days and then take it out. Otherwise, you get that temptation to unwind it and then you just ruin everything you've done.
yeah, because the hair does tend to like straighten out if you take it out too early and stuff.
So the same sort of thing applies for like Pinkie Pie hair and all that sort of things.
Yeah.
And fancy curling hair. So there's some fuss. All right, next question. Yes, I don't have to point.
How hard is it to actually style a Pinkie Pie hair?
For me, I think Pinkie Pie was one of the easiest one because I just like curled hair into like really really tight buns, boiled it, left it, and then like I brushed out her hair so her hair was like completely a huge afro, and then like trimmed it to shape like a hedge. So yeah.
But the only thing it's missing is like you can't really get the little kink in the hair at the front. It's
Yeah.
just frizzy.
But like
I had a friend who did like get a reasonably show accurate looking Pinkie, but she kind of destroyed her Pinkie's hair in the process because she used like a real like curling iron, which is a bad idea. It gets way too hot for the hair fibers. It's just, they kind of burn or melt.
yeah.
Don't use melty things on ponies. They are plastic.
Yeah.
They won't just burn. They will ruin your
That's
products.
why if you
Because-
ever use hair dryers, it's the lowest setting because otherwise everything will
Yeah.
just melt and be terrible.
That's why I recommend boiling water because its heating point is at a certain point which is much lower than the melting point of plastic. So
Are you okay to put your pony in the water and then boil the water?
I wouldn't recommend boiling it because then like the sides of the pot would actually melt the pony and stuff. So you wouldn't want a misshapen one.
Make
So just get the boiling water, put it in a mug, and put your pony in it.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
you don't want to.
In you go.
Don't
Pretty
put your
much.
fingers in the boiling water.
Yes.
Yep.
How long would you leave it in such a boiling water?
For me, I usually leave it for about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It's very quick. You just need to leave it to dry, and yeah.
That's cool. New people who just walked in. Who's got a question?
About customizing.
Anything?
Prefer to rehair or mold the hair?
Ah, we've had that one already.
Yeah.
Ah, we can still answer it though.
I prefer sculpting because it gets the shape. It makes it more show accurate to me, because like rehairing, it doesn't get the same kind of like look as the show does, like if you just sculpt it. And yeah.
What about Beth?
I honestly prefer sculpting because I don't really have the patience to deal with rehairing, and me and Shannon, the other person at the customs workshop, were dehairing like 20 or 25 of these for the customs workshop, and never again.
Never.
Never again.
Production line.
I gave up, and then Shannon did most of it.
It doesn't help that like nowadays a lot of toy companies put like a lot of glue inside the heads to make sure the head doesn't get pulled out. So like you can hear like a lot of cracking and stuff when you try to scrape
Violent
it out.
children.
Yeah.
throwing their food.
I just have a question. Would it actually be a better idea to kind of flash burn the hair off?
No, because like the ponies are plastic, so I wouldn't put it near fire. So
Yeah, but I'm
You-
not sure that it would actually go high enough to actually melt the plastic itself, but it would go high enough to actually singe the hair.
no, the hair is nylon, so nylon does turn to blobby like plastic, so it does kind of drip as well. So
You'll get like drippy
Yeah.
pony, and the
It's not
ears
human hair.
are very close to the mane, especially when you're getting between there. So you will melt your ears. Your ears will like be, oh look, I've got giant holes cut out of my ears. I am part changeling now.
yeah.
So
Well, you can just paint it white, just say ghost pony.
yeah. Question. We got lots of questions suddenly. Your hand went up first from you. Yes.
I was just going to recommend, like, when you get a really bad glue one thing I do is, like, oil your painter's head and then get a screwdriver.
Yeah.
And just hack away at the inside, like, get anything you can.
Yeah.
Just using, like, tweezers.
Yeah,
It's,
no.
like, not going to cut it.
That's how we were doing it for these guys. Also, if you are really having a lot of trouble with glue, you can get a little bit of acetone on the end of a cotton bud and like push it inside the head to melt the glue.
Yeah.
But that's a bit more difficult to do.
Yeah.
And question there first, and then back.
With actually making a changeling, how would you actually make the holes throughout the body?
I'd rec-
Actually retain its shape.
The pony's legs are actually solid plastic, like, so you can just easily drill through them, and then, yeah.
And they don't lose their structure. Like
No.
they're not going to collapse on themselves.
No, because I've cut so many ponies' legs in half, so.
Is
Yeah.
that how you made your chrysalis that's going to be in the auction, or how did you make your chrysalis?
Yeah, I actually cut the legs and like extended them a bit, and then like drilled in holes, and like yeah, because the ponies are very solid in the legs and stuff, and it's and the body isn't as hollow as you think it would be. So yeah.
We had a question at the back.
I wasn't sure if you answered this earlier, but do you prefer working with the old G1s or G3s, G2s now with these ones?
Okay, yeah. For me, it's G4 I really like just because I like the show, but I prefer the sizes of like the G1 and the G3 because they're more fashion style sized, and so like I definitely like that.
Tiny.
Yeah.
If you're a G1 collector onwards,
Yeah.
these things. So small. Why so small, Hasbro? Same price. So small. Cheap
Inflation.
Hasbro. It's like, really.
I actually was considering making some G1 customs because I wasn't that into it when I was a little kid, but I've sort of gotten into it. I really like the old toys. But I feel bad customizing them because it's like these are so old and like so nice. Like I don't feel like I can ruin them.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
missing an antique. Missing
Yeah.
an antique that loses a lot of value.
There
Yeah,
is
I
a
prefer
lot
to
of
restore
knockoff
them.
ones.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
prefer
there
to.
are knockoffs.
Yeah.
You can work with.
Yeah, but I prefer to restore older toys rather than try to customize them completely. So yeah.
You make new toys look like old toys.
Pardon? Yeah.
Everybody, we have a rarity here.
Yeah, see, it's very much a rarity.
Yes.
That is why the rarity collection. We had another question at the back, I think. Or you're okay? Well, new person who hasn't asked a question, so yes. Like how it's kind of see-through sort
Yeah.
of thing. Sorry, can you just say it again a little louder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So how you do teeth?
Like, I don't think Nightmare Moon had like the teeth in season 1, but season
She
2.
did like the evil laugh, and I think
Yeah.
she did that then.
Yeah.
That was like that one
like
scene.
yeah, I would for that I would like try to sculpt a more open mouth by like adding more milliput to the front of the mouth and like actually sculpting the mouth and the teeth and stuff.
So would you be like cutting into the head to like give her a mouth more, or?
I would actually just add it onto it just because like it would look kind of weird if you just like put it in the same kind of space.
So
as,
cutting out a
like,
hole in the pony's face, considering like the mouths are kind of
Yeah.
tiny and.
Yeah. And like for the hair, my current Nightmare Moon costume doesn't have any hair because like
She has a helmet on the show.
I don't know how her hair attaches in the show, like yeah.
I may have a suggestion for it. It may have fallen out bottom
Yeah.
helmet.
But it's just
Yeah.
Getting it to still flow up over her head and
Head.
then outwards, kind
And
of.
it just looks like like at least Luna's hair in season 2 looked a bit more solid and attached to her head. So, you know.
It can be hard to translate stuff from 2D flash animation to like a 3D actual thing.
Yeah.
Like, I guess with Nightmare Moon you could attach some kind of material, and I've seen
Yeah.
people get a really cool sort of starry feel with that
Yeah.
sort of thing,
Yeah.
but I've never tried it myself.
Yeah. But yeah.
You
Question?
could probably possibly, if you're willing to try with like maybe a resin or something, so you get kind of that see-through texture. Yeah, he's got these resin ones. So if you're willing to try with resin, that's again more materials and
Customizing is
things.
just about experimenting, basically.
Yeah, it's like trying
So,
the different materials you can. You can mix materials. I'm pretty confident. Like, you probably have a lot of trial and error. The internet is so helpful with like tutorials and places that you can go to say, no, that is a really bad idea, don't mix those things, or yes, you can mix those things, or I've never tried it, let's see what happens. So,
Yeah.
yeah, always ask for advice. If you got a problem, there's Pickles or Beth might know like some forums or something you might be able to
We
go to.
have a little list of resources on the end down here. We have a few sheets of them. We can give those out. If people want one, they can come and take one at the end of the panel.
Just
Yeah.
for making your own customs, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's
Info.
some like resources. There's a few websites that sell hair if people are interested in rerouting, that sell the doll hair.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was like question before that like over between the rerouting and the customizing. I don't know where to get doll hair. Like, I know you can get it, and there's lots of sites that have it, and I know I've been suggested a couple of them, but it's like, for something I just want to try for just trying's sake, I don't really want to be importing materials from overseas when I don't know how to work with them. It's like, that's my money, it's gone.
You
like,
could, like,
if you've got a friend that knows how them or has it, you can borrow some of them.
like for me, like I actually go to like secondhand stores and buy dolls that like have really nice hair, and then I just steal that hair. So,
It's like, you're no longer loved, and I'm going to love you even less.
yes.
It's kind of
So
mean.
yeah, like I definitely recommend secondhand stores if you are starting out and you want to practice on customizing stuff. If you go to secondhand stores, you can get like old toys, but not like vintage toys to like
There's
customize.
toys from the last 10 years that
Yeah.
parents don't want anymore.
Even
Yeah.
G4s are starting to show up in op shops and junk. So
Yeah.
Cheap bait ponies, and that's terminology if you
Yeah.
don't know custom
a
ponies.
bait pony is like just a
Uh,
sometimes like
a damaged
pony that you can use for customizing.
yeah.
And you won't feel bad for destroying a pony that maybe you like, because maybe it's like, oh, I really love Fluttershy, but she works really well for this base. And it's like, oh, but she's like missing an eye, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We're making her better now.
Yeah.
Because I remember when because these are my 3 customs that I've done first. These were rarities, and I love rarity. And the first time you're doing it, like getting rid of her hair, it's like, she's getting so bald. Like, my gosh, she's got no hair, and I feel so bad. And I chopped her ear off to fit that mane on. So I was like, now she's got no ear. And it's just, and I took her eyes off and her cutie marks. And it's like, she's naked and dead. I've taken her soul.
What have you done?
So yeah.
I have no emotions to toys.
So you might find that's like
Yeah.
a thing if you're just trying out customizing.
Yeah.
Like you might feel bad about ruining a toy because I get attached to my toys. I am a hoarder and a collector.
Yeah.
So I get really attached to mine. It's like, no. So yeah. I don't know if these people have experienced that. Pickles has been doing it for
Yeah.
so long. He's
Yeah.
probably not so bad. What about Beth?
Kind of. I don't know. I got over it.
Yeah.
When you're dehairing, I guess 20 ponies and making them naked,
Yeah.
kind of kills.
I actually we did buy them off a person. Yes.
Yeah.
I felt very bad. I couldn't wipe the eyes. I couldn't destroy Lily Blossom. I replaced it with like one of my Fluttershy's or Rainbow Dashes. I couldn't bring myself to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you quit. Well, hand.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened while you were customizing? Like a disaster?
I was trying to cut open like I was working on a Big Mac custom. Was trying to cut off like a head to match another body, but the knife slipped and I cut my hand deeply, and there was so much blood.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So yeah, like you have to be really careful if you're working with those kinds of tools, and that's why I haven't sold my Big Mac custom. So,
Because you literally spilled blood.
yeah. Yes.
Ironically enough, that's actually perfect because he is red.
Yes.
What about Beth?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've actually had any like big disasters. They could be like my early customs, which are terrible, could count as disasters.
Yeah.
But like just I guess getting milliput all over my desk because once that dries, that doesn't come off.
Yeah,
That's
be mindful.
That's there forever.
Yeah.
And mixing paint. I've done 3, and they're not finished, so I really don't have much stories on that. I'm really sorry. We're also at 1:45 almost, so we'll do 2 more questions, and then we'll let people come up, and that's going to have to be it. So
Okay.
I got 2 people there, so we've got the questions. I'll go start at the back.
Oh.
Not far enough at the back. Next, you'll be next.
Trying to make a male OC because there aren't that many males. So what do you do to try and get ahead?
I just sculpt the snout of it to actually because there isn't actually much difference between the female and male bodies on the show apart from the head shape. So I just like changed the
Yeah, there's a pink one here that's got, if you want to come up after we're done, there's one that's got the Milliput
Yeah.
on it to show you how it's being shaped onto the pony before it's got the paint job
And
over it.
like some other male ponies with like the feathers on their hooves and stuff.
Fetlocks.
Yeah, fetlocks. Yeah. Like usually I try to extend the body and stuff to make them look a bit bulkier. But for like my Big Mac, I use a McDonald's G3 pony body because it's like just generally
Not easy
big.
to find.
Yeah. But yeah, like it had like a slightly bigger body, so I just transferred the G4 head onto G3 like body and like just extended the hooves and like changed the face shape and yeah.
So the McDonald's G3s are a lot smaller than the actual G3s,
Yeah.
so they match.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and this is an example of like Frankensteining ponies, using different generations of ponies to put together to make something like that. It's like, was your Sombra a mix of
Yeah.
ponies? It's
Yeah,
like,
it was
you've
also
still got that in
G3.
its table. You can see that as an example of like,
Yeah, and you bought it.
yeah,
So.
it's my Sombra. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm not getting anyone else a chance to buy that because it's the best one I've seen online that was like a customized one. And it's like, it's mine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We had one more question.
I was just curious, you may have had a new shop open. I've noticed, there's not that
Flufflepuff has the issue that the artist who started it gets extremely upset if you sell any products that use her character. Like, because it's her character and she's not getting the money from it. And it's like, yeah, it's a Hasbro character that they've made into their own one. But it is her creation, and trying to sell her stuff gets her extremely upset, and don't do it.
Like even with that, like make her as a custom would be really hard because she is fluffy. So
Why don't you just use one giant ball of cotton and attach a head?
You could do that. Like, if you really want to do that, you're welcome to do that. If the only that's a thing. If people have their own OCs, don't make their OCs unless you ask them first and they're okay with it. Especially for selling, because you're going to get really angry people barraging you because it's the internet. And if you post it on the internet, they will find you and you will have hell because the internet.
and just be careful about using other people's designs as well because I made like a companion cube pony for like my boyfriend's birthday. But like the person who designed the compony, like she was very upset about it, and I felt really awful about like using her design without her permission. So there's that.
So yeah, that's the thing to be careful with customs. Make sure like you're doing generic characters or characters that your own OCs or OCs that you've asked permission for and that sort of thing. Like, and definitely don't be selling other people's OCs or original characters and etc. etc. Unless they're paying you money for it. That's probably about it. Because what's the time? Oh, we can fit one more question. Very just sneakily, yes.
This is a question for Dylan. Have you ever
We don't have a Dylan here. It's Pickles.
Yep.
Have you ever worked on those creepy glass dolls?
Which the porcelain dolls? No, they freak me out. Like even I have limits. Just hearing like the joints creak and stuff, and yeah.
So I'm going to have to wrap it up here. I'm going to say thank you very much to John Pickles and Beth Power and myself for emceeing because I'm awesome. No, these guys are awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Nikki.
no.
Thank you, Nikki, for coming.
They've been doing a custom workshop today and tomorrow. It's sold out, so sorry you can't get spots for it. Next PonyCon will possibly be doing another one, so get in fast if that comes up on sale again because that did sell out fairly quickly and it's only got limited spots because it's 2 hours each day and doing the
Materials
and materials and everything and having one-on-one-ish because it's a group. If you want to come up for like the next 5 minutes and have a look at the customs that are here or ask other questions that you were too embarrassed and I didn't get to point at you and make you ask that question, you're most welcome to. And then we've got to clear out this room for what's on next. Let me find out.
Yeah. And
Pony in the box, and on the main stage is the artist drawing challenge, which I will be adding as well.
come see me and Beth at our store at Store 25.
Oh yes, and Stall 25 has both best-selling badges and prints and custom Pickles ponies, which are really awesome, and you should totally go buy them. So thank you everyone for coming and seeing this panel. We appreciate you coming and see us, not watching cosplay, so yay everyone!
Okay, you can run off now, Nikki.
Oh, and yeah, you can come look at Milliput if you've not seen Milliput before, because that's cool.
Yeah.
And yes, all right.